This is Building a Creative Life. I'm Pam Vale, a New England artist, bringing the world of creativity to your door through casual conversations with artists, creators, and everyday people, helping curious, midlife women begin their next creative chapter. I'm glad you're here. Let's get started. Hello, creative friends. I'm Pam Vale, and today I'm sharing a solo episode all about artistic process, what that means, how it looks, and how it can be completely different for each of us. Here's the truth. As many artists as there are in the world, there are just as many paths to creation. Every person's process is unique, and even within your own life, your process can change from one project or medium to another. It's easy, especially in the beginning, to get caught up in how things are supposed to be done. But really, finding your own way, that's part of the joy of creating. I've been an artist for a very long time, and over the years, I've developed ways of working that suit me. Some of that came from trial and error, some from gut intuition, and some from watching what other people do. Today, I want to share pieces of my process with you, not because I think my way is the right way, but as an example of how different it can look. And hopefully, it gives you permission to explore what works for you. Let's start with writing, because for me, that process is almost meditative. A lot of times when I need to write, like a newsletter or a podcast episode, or even something practical, like planning a trip or hosting a party, the most productive moments happen either right before I fall asleep or just after I wake up. Usually I'm in bed with my eyes closed, and I just let my thoughts spill out. It's like a floodgate opens, one thought after another, wave after wave after wave. Sometimes I'll grab my phone and dictate the ideas and then go back to thinking. For me, dictation is faster than writing, and writing by hand slows down the flow of thoughts for me. Speaking allows me to capture it sort of in real time. That might not be true for you. You might find that journaling or writing on paper helps you connect to your thoughts. Or maybe your best ideas come while you're walking or driving or in the shower or cooking or playing with your children. The point is, you have to find your way. For me, it feels almost like the ideas are coming from another source, sort of like a higher power. And I know that might sound a little too spiritual for some people, but that's my experience. Now, when I was painting murals and doing decorative finishes, my process looked really different. The night before a big project, I would visualize literally everything. How I would organize my supplies, how I packed the car, what tools I needed, even what I was going to wear. I'd mentally walk through arriving at the client's house, where I'd unload, how I'd set up, what order I needed to do things in. I'd think about details like laying down drop cloths first or remembering the right reference images. I even visualized the actual painting, pouring my paints out, what the first steps would be, how the background needed to build up, what techniques I'd use. And then I'd picture photographing the finished work, packing up, and heading home. By the time I woke up the next morning, it was like I had already rehearsed the whole project. And that gave me this amazing freedom. I didn't have to worry about the logistics. I could just step into the creative flow and enjoy it. And that's the thing. Structure can create freedom. Having a framework, whether it's a limited color palette, some kind of set of rules, or even a timeline, gives you boundaries to explore inside of. And that keeps the process from feeling too wide open and overwhelming and can actually help you begin because you have some kind of framework that you're going to work within. But again, this is just me. Some artists thrive on detailed planning. They love sketches and mood boards and color studies. But others like me prefer the immediacy of creating fresh in the moment. When I was painting murals, I rarely did detailed sketches. I might make a quick sketch for the client to see what I was thinking, but I didn't want to do a whole painting just to then redo it on a wall. I wanted that first expression of creativity to be the expression. Other people love repetition. They might paint the same thing over and over until it feels right. For me, that would feel like torture. For them, it's a joy. And that's the beauty. There's no one right way. Some people improvise entirely. Some plan meticulously. Sometimes you're in one camp for one project and the other camp for another. And that's okay. If you've never seen it, there's a fun little movie called Music and Lyrics with Drew Barrymore and Hugh Grant. It's about writing pop songs, and it's funny to watch how differently they approach the creative process. They take different paths, but they both get to the song in the end. Here's the big takeaway. Your process isn't permanent. What works for you today might not work next year or even on your next project, and that's fine. If you try something and it doesn't work, that doesn't mean you failed or that the medium, creative outlet, or project isn't for you. It just means you've learned. Maybe you need more planning. Maybe you need less planning. Maybe you want to try setting limitations, like a very simple color palette, or working very small, or only in one theme. Or maybe you want to ditch all the rules and go with the flow. None of it is set in stone. And this isn't just about art. It applies to gardening and cooking and writing and exercising, and even how you move through the world. Your creative process is a living thing, and it evolves with you, if you let it. For me, one of my favorite little rituals is that bedtime wake-up dictation game. I'll lie there, eyes closed, and let the ideas drift in. Then I grab my phone, record a brain dump, and go back under. It feels like catching ideas before they fly away. Twyla Tharp, the modern dance choreographer, writes in her book, The Creative Habit, that unused ideas don't just disappear, they go find someone else willing to use them. And I love that thought. It's one of my favorite books on creativity, and I highly recommend it if you want to dig deeper into the artistic process. So this was a short but important conversation. I wanted to share a little bit about how I work, but more than that, I want to remind you that there's no single right way to be creative. Your process is yours. Try things, change things, borrow ideas, toss out what doesn't fit, and most of all, enjoy the discovery. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe for free and share it with a friend. It helps others find the show and grows our community. Remember, creativity is yours to define, there are no rules, and it's never too late. Until next time.